time. Yeah, I did it once, but
I need some practice.
yeah,
I need somebody to show me. It's not easy. I know
if
this
you look at the little pictures, it tells you when you can do something. Oh, she was showing us the time, wasn't she?
Be forceful. Good service.
It's not working.
One big slap.
Order in the auditorium, please. Happy New Year, everyone. Per Board Bylaw 0151 and Ohio Revised Code 3313.14, and as outgoing Vice President, I will begin the meeting as President Pro Tem until election of a President takes place further down on the agenda. I call to order the January 6, 2014 organizational meeting of the Cincinnati Board of Education. We welcome everyone and request everyone in the audience and board members alike to please silence your cell phones. At this time, I ask that you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Per Board Bylaw 0152 and Ohio Revised Code 3313.10, we will now prepare for the oath of office. Mrs. Witt, elected board members, and family members, please prepare for the oath of office to Melanie Bates. Will be our first.
Yes, and
I know.
oh, this is on. And I wanted to invite an elected official to give me my oath of office, and I tried to think of the most important person who would come out in this kind of weather, and I couldn't decide, so I asked three. So I want to ask Eve Bolton and Alex Coons and Chris Nelms to give me the oath of office.
Do you want your family to come down?
Oh, and the family too.
Yeah, we'll stay up on horse. Oh, there she goes.
Y'all need to come up here.
At the podium?
Coming in.
There you go. Yes, yes. No Bible. Just raise the right hand.
Let's see your
Please repeat after me. Raise your right hand and please repeat after me. I, Melanie Bates, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution
of the State of Ohio, and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the
Duties of a board member of the Board of Education of the City of Cincinnati School
Doing it
District
right.
during my continuous
You're
in office.
supposed to be repeating it after them.
I, Melanie Bates, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of a board member of the Board of Education of the Cincinnati City School District of Cincinnati, Ohio, during my continuance in office.
congratulations.
Thank you.
yeah. It's tough for us.
Next elected board member to do the oath of office will be Erica Copeland Dansby. Erica's friends and family are welcome to join her down here on the floor.
Got a few. this one. Good for you, Jeremiah.
Mr. Davis, come on.
Come on, everybody.
Family, you can come
I have plenty of room.
come to the side.
What you doing?
What's going on?
After that, it will be a distinct pleasure joining her in and elected officials and family and friends and supporters. Thanks for being here. After, if you would raise your right hand. Yes. I have the Copeland that solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of the Board of Education of the City of Cincinnati, School District, during my continuous in power.
I, Erica Copeland Dancy, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of a board member of the Board of Education of the Cincinnati City School District of Cincinnati, Ohio, during my continuance in office.
Congratulations.
Personally. Thank you. I know.
At this point, I'd like to invite newly elected board member Elisa Hoffman and her friends and family to come on down.
Wow. Thank you. It's incredible.
Okay. Adorable.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Elisa Hoffman,
I, Elisa Hoffman,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Ohio,
of the State of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
honestly,
honestly,
and impartially discharge the duties of a board member of the Board of Education of the Cincinnati City School District
of the Cincinnati City School District
of Cincinnati, Ohio,
of Cincinnati, Ohio,
during my continuance
during my continuance
in office.
in office.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
At this time, I would now ask Daniel Manera to come on down with your friends and family.
Oh my God.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Say his part now. All right, and then after Daniel says his, you're gonna go after Daddy, okay?
Hello. 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 Hello.
Please raise your right hand. I, Daniel Manera,
I, Daniel Manera,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
honestly, and impartially
honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties of a board member
discharge the duties of a board member
of the Board of Education of the Cincinnati City School District
of the Board of Education of the Cincinnati School Board District
of Cincinnati, Ohio,
of Cincinnati, Ohio,
during my term of office.
during my term of office.
Congratulations.
All right.
Congratulations once again to all our new and not so new board members. Mrs. Witt, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Bates.
Here.
Ms. Bolton.
Present.
Mrs. Copeland Dansby.
Present.
Ms. Hoffman.
Present.
Mr. Coons.
Here.
Mr. Manera.
Present.
Mr. Nelms.
Present.
I believe we now have a presentation to introduce you to the 2014 Cincinnati Board of Education board members. Ladies and gentlemen, Public Affairs Director Janet Walsh.
Welcome, everybody. Now that it's official. We'd like to take the occasion to introduce the 2014 Cincinnati Board of Education. And while this will be a really quick overview, I think I speak for all CPS stakeholders in saying we look forward to getting to know this board better as we work collaboratively together. Melanie Bates is our longest-serving board member, having been on the board since 2002. She's been president of the board's finance committee and also has a very keen interest in policy. And she brings to the board the valuable perspective of having served on the State Board of Education. By profession, she is the hospital development liaison for Life Center Organ Donor Network, and she holds a master's degree in public administration. On a personal note, Melanie has 3 children who graduated from Cincinnati Public Schools.
Yeah. We would like to start with Elisa Hoffman.
Oh, thank you.
Well, we know that every child in every neighborhood across Cincinnati deserves an excellent school. Like was said earlier, I've been working in education for 17 years now, so all with this same goal of figuring out how can we make sure that all kids have access to a great education. And first I was a teacher and then worked on staff at an education nonprofit in recruitment and hiring. And so this passion for educational equity is my professional passion, but it's also personal. As you all just saw, we have twin 4-year-olds, and so we will have 2 CPS kids in the fall. And so all of the decisions we make on the board will directly impact my own kids and your kids and kids across the city. My colleagues on the board, we come from really diverse backgrounds, which I think is great and going to really enhance the decisions we make as a board. But one thing we share is this passion for our city's kids and a sense of urgency in the work that we do. And so I'm really looking forward to working together to make an even more successful and equitable CPS. I want to thank our teachers and principals and staff at our schools and here in the central office for all of the work you do every day to educate our kids, and really looking forward to figuring out how we can attract and hire even more of the best teachers and school leaders, as well as provide the support and professional development that they need to be successful with our kids. And of course, also partnering with community members and parents to really figure out what are those life-changing opportunities that we can provide, like expanding the number of high-quality preschool seats within CPS so that every 3- and 4-year-old in our city comes into kindergarten prepared to be successful in school. So just want to thank everyone in advance for coming to us with their thoughts, their ideas and concerns, because I really do believe that working together, we can make sure that every child across our city gets a great education.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Member Daniel Manera.
Let's see. Can I get this on?
There
all
you
right,
go.
there we go. Well, first of all, thank you, President Bolton, and thank you to all of our board members, new elected, and those who were here before. And if I may address the crowd for this, I had a speech for this, but if you saw me through the campaign, I'd never stuck to them. And the reason is because there's always something that just takes me away and just blows me away. And now, I mean, look at this board. This is wonderful. We are, I believe, a true representation of what CPS is. And if you live in Cincinnati, you should be very proud of that. We are, I believe, in changing times. We're going to see great things happen these next couple of years. But one of the reasons that I ran is to represent and bring a voice to a lot of our students that really haven't been able to have a voice, or families. So I'm going to switch up my language for a little bit. Mi familia y a mis amigos que hablan español, bienvenidos y muchas gracias por su apoyo. And basically I just greeted my family and my friends and colleagues from the city, and I thank them for their support, because I believe it's important to have inclusion. And I believe that in this board, this is what we're going to have. That is something that I'm going to work hard to connect to each of my colleagues here as a board, and to also reach out to our teachers and to our staff, but most of all to you, the parents, the students who are present here today. Thank you so much for doing what you got to do. Teach, lead, learn, and I hope that we can be an advocate for you. Personally, I commit myself to the students and their families, to the community leaders here. I am so honored to have leaders that are present here today, like Harriet Russell. I think it's so important to have someone that has been so connected to the Cincinnati Public Schools, somebody that I have learned so much from her. And also as a sign of commitment, not only to the city, we have P.G. Sittenfield here as well, who is always on the move and has always been an inspiration in this campaign. So thank you. And again, I'm sure there are others I'm not mentioning, but this is what it's about. It's about coming and becoming community and allowing us, who you've elected, to represent you. So colleagues, I am looking forward to working with you, and people in the audience, I am looking forward to representing you, and God bless America.
Member Copeland Dansby.
Good evening and Happy New Year to each and every person here today. I first want to just thank the community for your absolute overwhelming support of our campaign. Every person who's represented here today who walked with me, who made phone calls with me, who knocked on doors with me, who honked and waved on every street corner with me to get our message of every child in every school spread throughout the city. And I appreciate each of you for your vote for me November the 5th. I ran for school board because it was the right thing to do and absolutely the right time to do it. I intend to use my leadership, like my colleagues who are sitting here, to ensure that our children have equity in education, that our classrooms are prepared and exuding excellence every day, that our teachers and administrators are supported, and that our community is empowered to have a voice. To bring partnerships with businesses and other nonprofits to our community learning centers, to really affect our kids who need us the most, to give a voice to those who may not have a voice. And so I also had a long, boring probably speech, but just want to really appreciate my colleagues who are sitting here today who have already demonstrated their commitment to serving every child in every school. And so I will leave you with a charge, as I always did on the campaign trail. I need your help. I need your voice. And so you know where we're located. I want you to bring yourselves to our board meetings, bring yourselves via telephone, via email and that, so that you can be a part of the decisions that are made in our city. My husband and our son and I, we live in the community of Roselawn, and we're very, very proud to be Cincinnatians. It is our education system that makes our city a very vibrant place. And so it's all of you all who are a part of that as well. And so thank you again for your support. I'm looking forward to getting great things done. And thanks so much.
Poons.
Thank you. I'll be brief. But basically, what I want to say to the public is there are some things that I think we need to continue doing as a board and as a district, and some things we need to challenge ourselves to start doing or do more of. The things we need to continue are our commitment to quality preschool for our city. That's something that I know many of you campaigned on and we've heard a lot about this year, and I'm excited to see that come to fruition, and the partnerships that are starting to take root between private, public, and philanthropic bodies is very exciting. Also, the Common Core state standards. I think that is something that can totally change the face of education, and we need to continue to support it as more resistance is coming about from some evildoers in the state and in the country as well. Another thing that I'd like to see us continue is our district-wide recycling program, which has started this year. We now have single-stream recycling dumpsters in every school, which is something that I think we should all be very proud of, and we need to make sure that our students and faculty know how to use them and are doing this well. So let's continue to do that, and then finally continue to bring social and emotional learning into the classroom. This is something that we've begun by adapting some of the curriculum in language arts classes, and just making sure that our students know a little bit more about themselves, why they feel the way they do, why they interact with others the way they do, and try to keep that as positive as possible. Another thing that I'd like to mention, these are the things I think we need to push for, and I know that there's some kind of momentum building around this issue, is the reallocation of funding away from prisons and toward public education. There are far too many people and young people, especially in our prison systems, and they're busting at the seams. Meanwhile, we have some schools with open seats, and that doesn't create a very positive image to me, so I'd like to see us work to change that. And then also, I believe Cincinnati is going to grow. And I think that we're going to start to see this growth in the next couple years, and CPS needs to be proactive in that and start thinking about the possibility of opening more schools in different neighborhoods. So I don't know how exactly that can come about, and the superintendent's probably mad at me for saying it, but it's something that I think we should think about as a possibility and make sure that we're at the front of such a movement if it does come. So that's all. Looking forward to working with 3 new board members, and I think it's going to be an excellent year for 2014.
Vice President Nelms.
Thank you. Most of the time I like to speak from the heart, but I have a scripted kind of message today. And first of all, let me give honor and praise to my Heavenly Father, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And I like to say that my Bible in Habakkuk 2:2 says to write the vision and make it plain. And I have a holistic perspective about 9 points that I would like to achieve in the next 2 years of my board tenure. 1, I would like to create a healthy professional collaborative relationship with all those that have the right heart for serving our kids, our parents, and our community. 2, I would like to help to address the district's achievement gap between our magnet and neighborhood schools through an inequity initiative. And 3, I would like to increase and maintain the level of fiscal support for our district's extracurricular programs and its Schedule E by locating and securing multiple income streams for continued funding and fiscal support and resources. 4, I would like to present the MORE initiative, and most of you that are not familiar with MORE, it's men that have, or young men that have the opportunity to be supported through a special program that we implemented about 3 years ago. And I would like to present this MORE program as a national model and to pilot a social emotional learning curriculum within this program, which I think is missing. 5, I'd like to establish a CPS Achievement Hall of Fame, honoring and celebrating the hundreds of alumni who have matriculated through this district, who have impacted the global community in some fashion. 6, I would like to promote community engagement across all 12 community sectors while enhancing our shared partnerships, especially with you, Mr. Sittenfield, as we move forward. 7, I'd like to relaunch the cable access show that aired about 2 years ago that was titled Issues in Urban Education, designed to inform the public of those issues that impact public education. 8, to govern with high ethical and moral integrity while representing the community as an elected official hired to manage and evaluate the superintendent, the treasurer, and our legal counsel. And number 9, my meeting mantra starting tonight is that as a school board, may every decision we make benefit the kids, the parents, and the community. And that's my 9 goals for the next 2 years. Thank you.
Senior Member Bates.
Well, thank you. And I've been serving for 12 years on this board. And let me tell you, I have never been so excited to serve further. I mean, we are just in incredible times. If you look back 12 years ago, we were sitting around this table and we were kicking off the facilities master plan. And at that time, we probably had the worst facilities, not only in the state, but they made a documentary about how bad our buildings were. Right now, Cincinnati Public Schools has the best facilities, not only in the state, probably in the country, with the most LEED certified buildings. I mean, we have done incredible work. And during this time, when we were working on the largest public works project in the history of the city of Cincinnati, our achievement has been incrementally increasing, and we're about ready to break through. What I'm going to challenge this board to do is what every good board should do, and we are going to set a vision. And our vision is going to be, because right now we are the best urban school district in Ohio, and arguably the best urban school district in the country. We have an incredible national reputation. I'm going to challenge this board that we are going to become the best district in Ohio and the best district in the country. And I believe we can do this by enabling and empowering a culture of excellence in every school and across this district. And that's our job, and we are the leaders, and we will do this. Our community expects this of us. When we were out campaigning, being the best urban district wasn't good enough. Our community expects us to be the best, and they should expect nothing less of us. So, board members, let's take up the challenge and lead, and we will be the best school district in this country.
Uncharacteristically, I too, like Vice President Nelms, have prepared remarks. And first, let me say that I'm thrilled to be here and start this new term for the new board, and welcome the staff, welcome the families, welcome our partners, and particularly extend a great welcome to former board members and also other elected officials that are here tonight. And personally, I'm thankful that my family is here. The last time, this is the history teacher now, so forgive me, but I have to say some of this stuff. The last time the board had 3 new members was in 2007, when Mr. Nelms and Michael Flannery and I were elected. That election was the last time that an incumbent was not returned to office. In the last 3 election cycles, to the credit of the board and the district and the leadership of our administration, in the last 3 election cycles, all incumbents have been returned. Tonight, we welcome back the top vote getter, member Melanie Bates. And Mr. Nelms and I, in that election, actually were helped by a very negative Jim Borgman cartoon about CPS that happened and was published about a week before the election. It helped us get elected, but it also captured a very negative view of where our district was. We've come a far piece, if you will, from that negative cartoon by Borgman to where the FMP is the lead story, front page, and is described in the implementation of the FMP, the Facilities Master Plan, as, how shall we say it, an epic achievement. That's an incredible transformation of a district, and we thank the staff for that transformation. But the FMP completion is indeed epic, but it is not what I think should inspire us. It is the inception and the vision of the FMP that should inspire this board. It was the inception and the vision of the FMP and the promise of community learning centers that I hope will guide this board. It should guide us because the inspiration is be bold and have big ideas, and you've started to hear that tonight. And be worthy of the trust and the faith placed in us by the voters and the taxpayers when we asked them for that billion-some-dollar build-out and then delivered. CPS is the best urban district in the state, as Ms. Bates has pointed out, but also, as Member Bates did on the campaign trail, keep inspiring us as she just did tonight by saying we will be the best in this country. And I was at one place that she spoke, and I think she talked about global supremacy as well. We know that Mrs. Bates will keep us in line and focused on the big picture and the mission. Our new members were victorious in a field of highly qualified candidates. Each of our new members is a parent, and each of our new members associated with their organizations have been partners to CPS. So those of you that are trying to figure out where this board will be and go, even before we've had our first meeting, keep in mind that we've got 3 parents, 3 partners. And nobody in education, I can say as a retired teacher, nobody in education has a greater sense of urgency than parents do. So, administration, be expecting timelines to be squeezed, shortened, demands to be greater, and partners expect excellence in outcome. So again, the bar, I think, gets raised by our new members, and I know we are ready for that. One of our new members has expertise has been cited in quality instruction and outstanding site leadership. Another one of our new members has spent her professional life marshaling and leveraging community resources to serve our city's kids. And the other member fully appreciates the role of LSDMCs and the value of quality community learning centers. He also represents and symbolizes to us that our city and our district is becoming increasingly international, and it's a banner that we should wave and be proud. All 7 of our board members, now this is the flip side, but I think it's still good. All 7 of our board members collectively make up perhaps the least combined board experience in anyone's memory.
Okay.
Mrs. Bates, now the senior member, after her, the next 6 members of this board have 6 or fewer years on a school board. And 3 of them have 0. Now, some superintendents, not ours, some treasurers, not ours, some union presidents, maybe ours, may assume that the lack of experience may create a vacuum or delay in the board's governance. Might even allow perhaps the district to go on to cruise control for a little while we get our act together. I'm sure that our district's leaders are smarter than that. In fact, the lack of board experience, I think, will create an energy and a synergy that will actually ignite this district. And we're ready to do that. You see, this school board, although I'm very old and I like the term old school, this school board is very new school. It's proud of CPS's collaborative culture and shared vision. But this school board knows that a collaborative culture and a shared vision must be community-wise and wide. It is not an internal exclusive dialogue happening within the system. There's a new power structure, and the new power structure is inclusive. Look at this audience tonight. This has to be among the largest. On a horrible night, group assembled for an organizational meeting. This board must also hit the ground, frozen as it is, running, because we start this month contract negotiations and end this year, if you will, with an absolutely crucial levy renewal that has to pass in November. So we have to be busy. So the early indications about the board are priorities like quality instruction, effective leadership, leveraging resources, quality community learning centers, empowered LSDMCs. All those things I think almost go without saying, but I had to at least throw in those issues and lists. What may be new is and are strategies from this new school board, gained strength through increased diversity. Diversity makes us strong, not weak. A focus on the opportunity gap in order to lessen the achievement gap. Dynamic community engagement, witnessed tonight, and a systemic transparency that everybody can believe and have faith in. Recognizing that the ultimate community engagement is an election, I personally want to thank the community for giving us the talented people with the perspectives and expertise that they have, and we will together continue, we hope, in a proud tradition of great boards and the greatest district provide the dynamic and positive board leadership that our children and our families and our taxpayers deserve. We will do our best to do so. Thank you very much. And now, per board bylaw, the committees and protocol require that the president recommend at the organizational meeting the list of committees, membership for board approval. And I will hopefully find it right here. Yeah, I got this. Thank you. The real work of the board is done in committee. That's just not a mantra, it should be the truth. We've elected the president and the vice president. The recommended finance committee is Melanie Bates, Eve Bolton, Erica Copeland Dansby. The partnership and public engagement committee is Erica Copeland Dansby, Alex Coons, and Daniel Manera. The policy committee is member Melanie Bates, Elisa Hoffman, and Chris Nelms. The Student Achievement Committee recommendation is Elisa Hoffman, Alexander Coons, and Daniel Manera. The appointments, the Art Advisory Board, Elisa Hoffman, Recreation Commission, Chris Nelms, and as an alternate to learn, Daniel Manera. Ohio School Boards Association, Chris Nelms, and I'm his backup. Legislative Liaison is myself. Southwest Region Executive Committee is Mr. Nelms. Again, I provide the backup only. Urban Commission, Alex Coons, Daniel Manera. Activities Beyond the Classroom, Chris Nelms and Erica Copeland Dansby. Council of Great City Schools representative, although we all feel strongly that all of us should participate in many ways with them, is Alexander Coons and Melanie Bates. And the Cheviot Tax Review Council.
My favorite.
Melanie's favorite. Our ambassador to Cheviot, Melanie Bates, is the recommendation. That is the complete recommendation of the president. And is there any discussion or any changes that board members, do you approve? All in favor, please say aye.
We have to do a resolution, don't we?
Yeah, but that's later.
Oh, okay.
All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, thank you. We're not going to do a roll call on that, and now we have to move to the resolution. Okay. We do have a member of the public that wants to make a statement. We will do that. But first, if we could, we need to go to the resolution that the board has before it regarding the resolution for the organizational meeting. Would Mr. Vice President, would you introduce it? This is required by law.
I'd like to introduce a resolution to approve the 2014 organizational meeting business items, and I will read at least the first part. Mm-hmm. Whereas the Cincinnati Public School Board of Education bylaws 0151 organizational meeting requires that the Board of Education organize annually at a meeting held during the first 15 days of January. And whereas bylaws 0154 motion requires certain business items must be performed at the organizational meeting, and now therefore be it resolved that the 2014 Board of Education meeting schedule as approved at the May 20th 2013 Board of Education meeting and the 2014 Committee of the Whole schedule as approved at the May 20th 2013 Board of Education be reaffirmed, and be it further resolved that a fee will not be charged to individuals requesting paper copies of the schedule of meetings, agenda, or notice of individual meetings, and be it further resolved that the current existing Cincinnati Public School Board of Education bylaws and policies for its own operation and the operation of the school system be reaffirmed, and be it further resolved that the Board of Education acknowledges the approved memberships in the professional organization of the Ohio School Board Association, the Ohio School Board Association Legal Assistance Fund, National School Board Association, and the Council of Great City Schools, and be it finally resolved as required by the Ohio Revised Code 3315.15, the Board of Education reaffirms the service fund allocation of $25,000, and I present as written.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Coons. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mrs. Bates.
Aye.
Ms. Bolton.
Aye.
Mrs. Copeland Dansby.
Aye.
Mrs. Hoffman.
Aye.
Mr. Coons.
Aye.
Mr. Manera.
Yes.
Mr. Nell.
Aye.
Resolution passes. Okay. What we'll do, since we do have President Sellers who would like to make a brief presentation, let's, if we could, Julie, if it's all right, have you do that. Come on down here because I don't know that that works. While she is approaching the lectern, we do have a date for the board retreat, which is January 24th at 4:30. Second, the other piece of business is the need, as we listed those appointments, board be thinking about other kinds of appointments that we may need to be making along the way, because there are other organizations and other committees on which we serve that will require appointments. And then finally, also for both the Student Achievement and the Finance Committee, we will need representatives from those two committees to review and align the superintendent and treasurer's evaluation to their goals and to the board goals. So if you'll put that on your agendas when you have your first meeting, that would be great. And immediately following the board meeting tonight, we're doing something somewhat different, and that is all four committees will meet. They will, immediately after the meeting, they will choose their chair and their regular meeting time and get that done, because we are hitting the frozen ground running. And now, before we end the meeting, we have a statement and presentation from CFT President Sellers.
Good evening, members of the board, and I would like to welcome all of the new members this evening who were newly elected, and we will look forward to working with you. But what I did want to share, after hearing everyone this evening give their presentations about where their goals are for the next couple of years, I wanted to share with you an important magazine that it's just hot off the presses. It hasn't been mailed out yet. It is the American Educator magazine, which is a quarterly journal of educational research and ideas. And in this magazine, for this quarter, it's How Not to Go It Alone, of ways of collaborating can strengthen education. But in that article of the research, Cincinnati Public, it has a 2/3 double page highlight in cultivating collaboration. And I just want to read to you a couple of the highlighting sentences, because it pretty much is a summary of everything that was said here this evening. It says community building in Cincinnati, and that is the title of this article. And it says one of the largest U.S. urban school districts to experience substantial and sustained improvements in student outcomes is Cincinnati, Ohio, now recognized as a national model of collaboration between administrators, teachers, along with parents and community groups. The city's pioneering of community learning centers, which provide students with access to a wide array of health services, after-school programs, tutoring, and other social supports on school ground, are so highly regarded they attracted some of New York City's recent mayoral candidates to visit and study how they might be emulated. And they were here and they looked at several of the schools, but I know they spent a lot of time at Euler, and several other people from Euler are here this evening, and I thought they would be interested in this also. I was actually sitting next to the new mayor of New York City, and I was like, I didn't even know who he was, but they were very impressed with what was going on here. But another element of Cincinnati's success has been close collaboration with community service providers, to reach those areas of students' lives that often affect academic performance that schools generally cannot control. So we are a national model, and I really think that very soon we could become the best urban district in America. I think we're very close. We probably are already there. I cannot go to a national conference anywhere without Cincinnati, one of our models, being discussed and put on a pedestal. So they said that central to Cincinnati's success has been what stakeholders there recognize as a strong degree of trust between school administrators and the teachers union. And this has not been done by accident. It is something that is very difficult to do, and it takes a commitment of all, and that includes the board. And I just want to talk and say thank you for all of the collaboration that we have had over the years. Many times it has been very difficult and rocky, but in the end you work it out, and it ends up becoming what is best for the city. So I brought a copy of the magazine for everyone so that you can each have your own copy, and I will pass those out. But thank you and congratulations. I just couldn't wait till the next school board meeting to share this.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Julie.
Excellent article. Thank you for your work.
And with that, is there any other new business or other business to be shared besides the hugging and kissing and waving and whatever? I now declare this meeting adjourned, and we will go to our committee meetings immediately. Thank you all for coming, especially tonight.
Okay, so what are we going to do? Committees?
Things at the board.